The Oklahoma City Thunder finished their shoot-around around 11 this morning. The team's in good spirits and ready to play Atlanta tonight before heading on the road to play at Miami on Wednesday and at Brooklyn on Friday. And while we didn't talk too much about the Heat or the Nets coming up, there was concern about tonight's matchups against the Hawks. We start with Kevin Durant and then finish with Kendrick Perkins.
Well, Kevin, will you just talk about how this team has changed since the last time you saw him? Jeff Teague's out,
Yeah.
Horford's out, but what kind of challenges they still have?
Well, there'll be some good teams. Teague was a big part of what they do, but in that system you can plug just about anybody in there. I'm not saying nothing against Jeff Teague, but they have a great system where they pass the ball extremely well and they play within that offense. So you plug one of those guys in there. Shelvin Mack's playing tremendous. You plug him in there, he can make the same type of impact. So they're the best passing team in the league, and we have to be on point for 24 seconds. They got the best shooter, arguably the best shooter in the league with Kyle Korver, who's doing a lot for him and opening things up for everybody else. So we have to be on point.
How do you guys feel right now? I mean, a difficult week, but then you have another stretch coming up. Is it kind of like yesterday was a take a break and let's get back to it, or how are you feeling?
In this league, you never can take a break and take a breath, I think. And, it's so many great teams, great players. You got to be on point and focus every single night. So, it's good to be home, though. I'm glad we're home for a game and then go back. So, we're looking forward to trying to take care of our home court tonight.
How's your shoulder? Are you good to go?
Pretty good, yeah.
7 straight. Are you guys feeling like you're humming a little bit on both ends, or where are you guys at?
Nah, we got to be better, I think. Last few games defensively we've been okay, but we have to be better. We won 7 straight, so people automatically think everything's going very well for us. But some areas we have to clean up. Offensive rebounding, teams have been doing a number on us on the glass, so we have to clean that up and moving the ball a little better than we have been. So and cut down on our turnovers. I think I started off having 11 against San Antonio, so we have to cut down on that. And if we do that, we'll be okay.
Doing something for his defense on back to the basket guys. Does he do something subtle, or what does he do against those guys to make it hard on them?
Oh, he just uses physicality. He has very long arms, and he's great at contesting shots. I think he should be all defensive team. Just people don't. He doesn't get that recognition because he's not one of the sexier names, I guess. But his defense is the best in the league down low in the post, and we're starting to see a lot more post guys in this league. Al Jeffersons, and Dwight Howards, and Pau Gasols, and Mark Gasols, guys like that. And he's doing a great job. So when we're playing guys like that, we know he's going to play them straight up, and sometimes he don't even need no help.
Kevin, when you're on a roll like this, do you try your best not to think about it? I mean, everybody wants to talk about it. Obviously, you don't. So what do you have to think about every day?
I mean, a lot of people talk about it, and I just try to just focus on the team, and it's gonna be a game where my team's gonna need me to have 15 points and 7 assists or 6 rebounds, and we still win a basketball game. And I'm just trying to play it how the game goes. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm not going out saying I need to score this many points. I'm just playing within the offense, and it's fun knowing that when you play within the flow and you start to have some success, and your team feels good, feels happy for you. That's the best part. And I try not to think about it. And this is it's not the first time I scored 30 points before. So I'm not trying to get too excited about it. I have bigger goals in mind.
Historically, though, you're a student of the game. You value the guys that you're seeing. You talk about that all the time. Is it meaningful from that standpoint? How do you sort of leave the mark of who you are in this league and that kind of thing?
The stats have been thrown out. I had no clue those guys, had those type of numbers. When you think of the Kobe Bryants and Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, Magic Johnsons, Larry Birds, you only know championships. I don't know the individual stats of those guys off the top of my head. One of you guys have to tell me. So they only measure by, how you win. And that's how I look at them guys. That's how everybody else looks at them. So, I try not to, say I'm in that class with those guys yet because they did so much that I haven't done.
Is it hard for you to be yourself now? I mean, in the sense of...
Be myself?
I mean, obviously you're very, very popular over the last couple of years. You're at a level now, you're playing maybe your best basketball of your career, but if you get a technical during the game, if something happens during the game, if something happens off the court, do you feel like other people are looking at you, and do you feel like you have to temper any of that?
Nah, man. I'm not out to. I'm not seeking approval of anybody. I'm not here to make anybody happy. I'm not living for anybody. I mean, I realize from right from wrong, and I know common sense. But I'm not going out here and saying I'm gonna have to do this so this person can be happy with me, or so this guy won't be upset. I'm just going out there and just living, making mistakes as a human, just like everybody else does. Just happen to play basketball, and so I'm not walking on eggshells because I play in the NBA. I'm still gonna be myself. I'm still gonna have good days and bad days like a normal person, and so I'm not looking for any approval from anybody, of course. And I just learn from everything I do.
Kevin, would you talk about the experience your teammates have gotten in plugging in and roles with some injuries that you've had, especially this past week where you didn't know one game or another who's playing, how they've responded, how that might help down the road?
Well, we're all professionals here, and we know what it takes. This is our job. This is what we do every single day, and we know injuries happen, and you have to step up. So I think our young guys doing a tremendous job with just coming in and being ready. Perry Jones is doing a great job. Andre Robertson is doing a great job stepping in, coming from the D League up to starting a few games for us this year, and playing some minutes when guys are hurt. Jeremy Lamb, Reggie is the biggest guy who stepped in and is playing well. So they're learning. They're teaching us a lot as veterans. The young guys are teaching me a lot as well. So we're blessed to have them.
Do you feel like you've been the catalyst for what's going on in the league now? You got LA going for 44, and then Terrence Ross 51, and Dylan 62.
No, I don't think that had nothing to do with me. Those guys got hot. It was fun to see. As a guy who loves to, watch guys score. See L Train go out there and score 44 so effortlessly, and Melo go out there and just get scorching hot, and then Terrence Ross, a guy nobody thought he can score 50 points in this league, came out and was played phenomenally. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see, man. And I wouldn't say it was because of me.
That Kyle Korver three-point streak, from a shooter's perspective, how impressive is that, consistency?
Yes, I don't think I could make 3 in 10 straight games. He did it in 109, 112. That's wow. That's unbelievable. A shooter like that. Just watching him, it just takes him a split second to get it off, and he needs a little bit of space, and he's knocking it down. So. It's just going to be hard to stop that streak, because he gets so many looks and gets so many opportunities. But it's just a phenomenal accomplishment. I'm sure he's going to keep it going.
Kevin, if you think back to 07 and the pre-draft stuff, did all that stuff, like the bench press and the agility stuff, did it drive you? Or at the time, did you just think this is silly anyway? A basketball weighs 20 ounces. Did it drive you, or did you just think it was funny at the time?
I thought it was funny, and it didn't drive me. I'm always motivated and driven, and going into that thing, I knew I could lift up 185 pounds, and but that didn't stop me from thinking that I could play in this league or knowing I could make an impact. It is what it is. I guess it's a step I had to go through, but it wasn't bad. I mean, there's bigger problems in this world than not lifting at 185 pounds and people telling you can't make it. So it is what it is. I mean, I've moved past that. I'm sure everybody has as well.
Perkins, the last time we saw these guys, they use their bigs so much to get their offense going. Without Horford, does that stay the same, or how does that dynamic change?
Well, they run a lot of sets throughout the elbows. They set a lot of screens, and they run a lot of floppy sets for Kyle Korver. So we just got to make sure we all tied on the string today and communicating. And I think it'll be a great day for the bigs to help the guards out a whole lot. And still got to worry about Millsap on the other hand.
Kevin kind of mentioned just the fact, they're first in assists, that they move the ball so well that it's kind of a system. They've just kept going despite their injuries.
Yeah, I think they're well coached. I think they bought into his system, and they move the ball extremely well. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody get great shots, and they look like they're having fun playing together. And they actually been a sleeper team of the NBA. Nobody expected them to be, where they at right now. So, we definitely got to make sure we come in tonight and be focused and ready to take care of home court.
Kirk, over the last week or so, helped Duncan 14 points, Cousins 6 of 19 shooting, Howard to 5 of 13. When you are able to kind of one-on-one take those guys out of the game, how do you think that impacts the other 4 guys in the defense?
Well, I think it helps them stay home. It helps them be able to not have to help and rotate. So I think at the end of the day, I just try to do my job when we play guys like that where, it helps the guards have to stay home. Then, they come in and grab them a couple of rebounds or whatever it may be, but they get to stay home and guard their man without having to help dig and try to close out to somebody fast and blow them by them and stuff like that.
So when they have a guy like Korver that shoots so well from three-point range, do you keep an eye on him as well, or do you have?
Yeah, the whole team is alert. So in transition, it's not, you don't have a man. So if we turn over the ball, the first guy that everybody, I don't care what's going on, everybody probably need to run to Kyle Korver. And we seen it on film today that, they really look for him. Like offensive rebounds, they look to kick it to him. Transition, they throw behind the back passes to him, and he be at the hash mark, and he gonna let it go. So we definitely pay attention to him.
You watched the Boston game last night, Kevin and Paul's return. Did you get to watch it?
Yeah, I checked it out. They got a good, well-deserved welcome. I thought they deserved every bit of it, and I watched it. I thought they was gonna shed a tear, but I didn't see one. But kind of give you chills though. But it was well-deserved.
Kendrick, you've seen this team in a groove before in the playoff run, and the team with injuries now seems to be in a groove of its own. Would you talk about the consistency that you're getting out of this team, irrespective of who's in the lineup?
Well, I think it's just we got a different person stepping up every night. I mean, despite you got KD playing at an unbelievable level right now, but you got a different guy who coming in and giving us good minutes, whether it's Derek Fisher, Perry Jones, Jeremy Lamb. It don't really matter. Serge, Nick. I mean, that's what's part of having a good, deep team is about. So each guy is stepping up and giving us good minutes each game, and that's what we need.
We used to talk so much about how Russell affected the game with his energy and emotion. It seems like Kevin's doing more of that as well. Have you seen that he's just lifting everybody's level at this point?
Yeah, it is. When he step on the court, he instantly go from being this nice KD to this screaming after dunks and just getting people fired up, and I actually love it. But you could tell the energy and the leadership that he's bringing, and he's just focused right now. So we just following his lead and just go keep building until Russell get back.
Kirk, is that different than it used to be? Did he used to come out on the court and do that sort of stuff, or is that something that happens as he's been in the league longer?
I think that's just something that it happened to, he's starting to mature, grow a little bit. It's not the same KD that used to be back in the day. Now he taking leadership. You could tell he's yelling at guys when they not in the right spots, which is the right thing to do, and he's on guys. So, I mean, you could tell that he really wants to win, and he's at a high level right now.
Where do you think Serge is at right now?
To me, Serge should be in the All-Star game. You got the best team in the West. One game out of having the best record in the league, and I think since Russ been out, Serge should be a candidate as a reserve as an All-Star. I think his last 5 out of 6 games he had 20-plus points. So he's really playing at a high level.
Our next Thunder pregame show is Wednesday night. It's the big matchup against the Miami Heat in Miami, and we will have our Thunder pregame live from Blackhawk Casino in Shawnee as John Rohde and Desmond Mason joins me at that time. Until then, I'm David Garrett with today's Thunder Report for 107.7 The Franchise.